Alright guys, welcome back to Voice for the Voiceless. I'm your host, Lacey West, and today's topic is going to be talking about why it feels so hard to let go. Why do we feel guilty when we finally just put ourselves first? I really wanted to dive into this topic because it kind of goes with episode 3, the last episode I uploaded when I was talking about transforming into your highest self. There's certain things that you have to give up, certain lifestyles, certain choices, certain actions that you do in your everyday life, certain people you have to drop in order to grow. And it's the hardest part because you've literally been this person for so long, and then you're finally deciding, okay, I'm gonna put myself first. I'm gonna finally, do what I've always wanted to do. And then you realize I can't do some of these things without letting some of these people go. And then you just gotta be okay with being the bad guy. And like, as a people pleaser, you're always trying to be the nice guy. You're always trying to protect people's feelings. But today we need to protect our own. So I'm gonna tell you why it does feel a little, awkward, because our brain is getting used to putting ourselves first. Again, our brain is used to survive. Like, it's literally just trying to protect you at all times. So when you're telling it, hey babe, so we're gonna change our whole brain chemistry right now, it's probably like, girl, what? So just bear with me, bitch, because I'm on the same journey as you, so let's go. I want to talk about survivor's guilt because that's what I feel like it is, and I didn't even know this was a term until I started getting out there and really doing my research on bettering myself, So survivor's guilt, I feel like I suffer from this a lot, especially if you are, a lot of people's rock in your family, friend circle, whatever it is. Like, for example, me being the oldest sibling, I've kind of held it together in certain areas of our lives. And now that I've taken a step back, I see that, I don't know, like, I just don't know how to put it. Like, people are noticing, and the people closest to me that I once had a great bond with, are noticing as well. And it's not so much as I'm doing it on purpose. I'm just distancing myself so that I could become the person I want to be. And in my brain, in that process, it's just nothing is permanent. So in my head, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I could go through this healing journey. The other person could be going through whatever they got to go through. But at the end of the day, I got to put myself first. And that doesn't mean that once, what's done is done and what needs to happen happens. Doesn't mean that we won't be able to be like this ever again. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beautiful thing about life. You literally never know what's going to happen. You're not on your timing, babe. You're on God's timing. Like, and that's another thing I was sitting here thinking about today. I was like, as much as we're on our timing, like, what I mean by that, our timing is the only thing we have control over is ourselves. What we react to, how we react to things, what actions we do throughout the day to get us to where we need to go or where we want to be, or not do those things. And then we're going to be stuck in the same cycle or loop or whatever thing you're in right now. That's what I mean. Like, it's just nothing is ever permanent. So I always say that to myself. And it's not like I'm literally like, yeah, so I'm literally ignoring calls. I'm not talking. Like, no, it's not like that. It's just naturally going with its course. And once you take a step back, because if you're like me, you're the person that's always reaching out first, or checking in on people. Hey, what's going on? What's up? You know what I mean? And once you do take that step back, it looks like you don't care anymore, but there's two to tango. You know what I mean? And if you take a step back in that friendship, family ship, whatever the fuck it is, relationship in general, if that shit falls apart, I'm sorry, babe, but you were the glue, and that's okay. That's okay. That is okay. You can be the glue, okay? But that glue kind of gotta make its way off. Like, hello? When you want the best for someone and you go so far as to stress yourself out over their problems, you're giving them the cost of your own happiness, and they never asked you for it. You know what I mean? That's what I talked about in the last episode. So I won't dive too much into you signed up for that yourself. But when you do take on that role, you literally lose sight of who you are. You literally think that you were put on this earth to help all. Like, baby, you are not God. Again, like, I'm sorry, I just had to say it. Even for myself, I have to remind myself every single day. When I try to loop back into my old patterns, when I try to go be the hero, when I go try to be the therapist friend, like, baby, no, do that for yourself first. Is your oxygen mask on first? Then proceed. You know what I mean? Like, because if you got your shit, like, that's a different thing. If you're a little ahead in the journey, you got your shit, you got your ones and twos in order, then you're allowed to, help that other friend. But as of right now, as much as it hurts, as uncomfortable as it is, because we're used to sacrificing our own happiness for others, you got to say, hey, I can't help you with that right now. Or just be a listener, because some people really just want you to listen. That's what they wanted from you this whole time. Yeah, that's surprising, right? They just wanted you to listen. They never wanted advice. But like in other circumstances, of course you're the advice friend. But there are circumstances where your friends, family, whoever is coming to you to have a conversation, just want someone to listen. Because when you think about it, when you're venting to someone, is there ever a time where you just want them to listen? You know what I mean? So it's just like, there are other options, babe. Okay, you don't always have to be on flight or fight. You don't always have to be in survival mode. You don't always have to be in problem solving mode. You can, you know, step away from that job for a little bit. I'm giving you permission. I'm gonna write you a prescription to put yourself first. How about that? That's the thing, like, especially when you're going through this journey, like, someone always gets hurt. And honestly, as selfish as this sounds, it has to be the other person, because we're not doing that to ourselves anymore. The abandonment for other people's happiness, as much as that was a safety blanket for a while, we can't keep doing it, because look at where we are now. Like, as much as we want to help people, we just got to make sure we're not overextending our arm. You know what I mean? We're not Elastigirl, babe. You can't keep stretching out yourself when you can't even go that far, babe. Okay? Hello. I feel like when you keep doing that to yourself, all you're doing is depleting your self-worth. Like, you're literally proving to yourself that you don't matter. You're teaching your brain that, you know what I mean? And then it's gonna make you not put yourself first. Like, that's why we have to do small baby steps every single day. Like, whether that's you know, putting the phone down when you literally, like, are in flight or fight, or whatever you're doing in your own personal life. You have your own personal problems. Whatever is going on, it doesn't even have to be negative. Problems, good things, whatever you're in the middle of. When you see that phone ringing, it's okay to just do this. Put it down. Babe, I'm giving you permission to do that, because you don't have to answer every phone call, because I feel like when you do that, it interrupts your flow state. You feel me? Whether that's you when you were crashing out, or however you were feeling on the low vibrational side or the high vibrational side, don't fuck whatever you got going up. You gotta take care of you first. The only way you should be answering that phone is if you ask yourself, am I okay? Am I not going to project in this conversation and give advice that I would want to hear for myself? You know what I mean? Because I find everything leads back to projection, honestly. Like, whether that's someone being a bitch to you. I was trying to use some bad words. Okay. I'm really trying to stop doing that. So whether that's someone being a little to you or whatever the case may be, I literally forgot what I was talking about. We do this to ourselves, like, and that's why I say we play a part in our own misery. For example, when you're pouring into somebody over and over and over and over again, you're being that therapist friend, you're being there for that person nonstop, and you're expecting that reciprocated energy, babe. You got to meet them where they are. They're obviously at a 2, babe. So how are they ever gonna, like, give you, you know what I mean? Just because you can put that mask on and be like, hey, I got some advice. Like, not everyone's built like that. Stop thinking that everybody has what you got, bro. In that circumstance, you are unique. It doesn't matter what your story is. You as a person is unique, so you got to meet people where they're at. Like, that's why expectations is such, like, an act of arrogance. Because why are you expecting all of these things from other people when you can't even, like, give that same thing to yourself? You know what I mean? That's kind of hypocritical, don't you think? Like, and I'm going for myself. Like, when I'm being harsh on you guys like this, like, I'm literally speaking to myself. I'm saying things that I say to myself every day because I know what it feels like, and I don't want y'all to get to that fucking point where you're in resentment, because that's what it eventually leads up to, which is going into my next thing, where it's like, dude, nice guys finish last. They say that for a reason, and in my head, it's a different way, because when you sit there and you're being nice and you're not saying how you really feel, you're literally letting everybody walk all over you. You keep doing that. There gets to a point where you blow up because you keep stuffing shit down. And then you look like a bitch because you just exploded. No one knew what was going on. Nobody's a mind reader. I know you think you sit there and you read all these minds. I know what they're doing. I know their plan. I know what they're thinking. No, you don't. Coming from somebody that is an ex-mind reader, okay? Yeah, I know. It's a shock that you don't know what everyone's thinking. Like, baby, you can pick up on the body language as much as you want, but you really don't know what they're thinking, okay? You're not a mind reader. You're not God. Like, I literally am talking to myself, not just you guys. I promise you. I'm clocking our shit right now. Me and you, okay? So you just gotta stop having those expectations, because you're setting yourself up for failure when you're sitting there and expecting, okay, so when I have a bad day, they're gonna be there for me. Who said they were gonna be there for you? Even if the person said that they were gonna be there for you, have their actions ever led up to what they say? Like, you have to take that into account. And if you have been letting that behavior slide over and over, and let this be decades of friendships or relationships, bitch, when you start to switch to them, you're being weird, because you've never done that. You've never expressed frustrations. You've never expressed how you felt. You never expressed the discomfort. Like, that is on you. No one, like, you can't read someone else's mind. They cannot read your mind. You know what I mean? So, like, and I'm guilty of this. Like, bro, I will go, like, I used to ghost people like that. Like, okay, like, I'm gonna unfollow you, I'm gonna block you just because you did some weird shit. So why don't we talk about it first? Why don't we have some communication? Because there is such thing as healthy communication, guys. It doesn't always have to be, like, chaotic. Because I know a lot of my audience does come from backgrounds where we had to put our mask on, use our survival, like, and now we're just getting to a point where we realize that we deserve happiness. We deserve to feel free. We deserve serenity. We deserve peace. Like, we need to actually pause. And I never realized you could pause. Like, you know what I mean? When you're on flight or fight for so long, you don't realize you can actually stop, take a second to breathe and think and process. We are such impulsive reactors that it literally fucks everything up for us. Like, do you want to really make that mess and then go have to clean it up later? No. And that's the thing. Like, I used to be that person that's going to make a fucking mess. And then I'm like, oh, bro, I'm not going to clean that shit up. Let me just block these motherfuckers. What does that do for me and them? Because then what? They're sitting there confused, pissed off, whatever their emotions are to my behavior. And then I'm sitting over here in my petty shit. But then years down the line, however long it takes to get down the line for that to click in my head, which is this moment right now, I'm like, bitch, that was fucked up. You know what I mean? Bitch, that was fucked up. Maybe I don't know everything. Like, maybe people just wanted to know how I really felt all along. Like, because I've always been the type of person to be super reserved, super avoidant, didn't want to be vulnerable because I didn't want people to use that against me. But at the end of the day, if they use it against you, that has nothing to do with you as a person, does it? All you did was show up and be honest and be who you are as a person. And if they decide to do whatever they want to do with that, then that's on them, babe. There is a such thing as karma. And it will come back around. Okay. Y'all, I'm not really fucking with the lighting, bro. I don't know what's going on today. Like, but I needed to get this message out for you. So regardless of the lighting, I'm carrying the message. Clock it. So there's takers and there's givers, okay? I feel like there could be a crossbreed of the two, but let's just talk about the general taking and giving. As a giver, you don't even realize what you're doing until you burn the fuck out, because spiritually, you're gonna burn the fuck out, and that's when it gets to the spiritual warfare shit, and then you start to think you're not good enough, and then it goes down this rabbit hole of fucking bullshit that the enemy thinks, that the enemy wants you to believe. What? Okay, so let's get into it, baby. That's why boundaries are so important, bro. Especially if you're somebody who's an empath. Like, you're a lover, bro. And I don't want you to change who you are. I just want you to have boundaries while you do it and stick to that, because you matter. As much as everybody else in their feelings, and you want to protect them, you can protect yourself as well. Because the takers in this world will take and take and take until they bleed you dry. And, like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure we all have that little flaw in us in different ways, but there are people that will do that all around. Have you ever heard of an energy vampire? Yeah, bitch. When you feel drained as fuck after talking to somebody, and it's not even intentional, and that's what I mean. Like, you can't obviously change people, but you can change who you be around or who you share your energy and time with. Because, bro, if you're so full of light and happiness, of course you're gonna attract darkness. You know what I mean? So, like, the takers are gonna come to the givers, obviously, but you just gotta have that fucking, put your armor on, bro. Like, let's think first. Like, let's think. We know this behavior, we know this pattern, like, and the thing about it is, when you really, like, this is gonna be a hard pill to swallow, because when somebody told me this, I was like, bitch, no, I didn't. But no, you did. You actually taught people to need you. You know what I'm talking about? Now let me break it down if you don't get what I'm talking about. You made it so much that whenever they have a problem, they know exactly who to call, because they know exactly who they can vent to, whether they get the advice, and listen to it, whether they just listen to the advice and ignore it. Like, there's so many different outcomes, but the outcome after all different scenarios is you losing energy. I don't want to say it's wasting it, but it low-key is, because it's like, when you have that certain person, I know everybody on this motherfucker has had or has a person in their life that doesn't change, and you sit there and you give advice, you sit there and you pour energy energy into it. You sit there and you try and you try and you try to help them. But at the same time, who are you to lead when you don't even know what the fuck you're leading? Dude, they have their own life. They have their own purpose. But that goes to say, just create the boundary. That's what I mean. Like, if you got that person that's always just sucking the energy out, bro. As much as you love that, like, if you literally cannot escape it, you just need to do two things. One, create the boundaries. Like, you need to have, this is where I feel like autopilot's okay, because you literally do need to tune out when this kind of shit does happen spiritually, because bitch, since I've been kind of doing that, that's been helping a little bit, like not making me so, like, you know what I mean? Like, bitch, oh no, I can't breathe over here. You just keep talking. Like the bitches that don't even let you get a word in type shit. Like, I'm like, you're sucking me right now. Like, not in a good way either. Like, whoa. No, but you got to do one or two things, bitch. Create the boundaries. Number two, bitch. This might sound a little woo-woo, so if my woo-woo bitches aren't in here, skip to the next segment in this video. I need you to sit there and close your eyes. Before you even walk into the space, I need you to imagine a bubble. I need you to imagine a bubble around you that is protecting you, that's literally protecting your energy. Once you start doing that shit, the mentality of that, like nothing is getting in my energy bubble, bro, no. Because you're not gonna come over here and fuck with my shit. Because I will take that all on. We are known to take it all on because we like to fucking sit there and think about something over and over. Like, why am I thinking about this bitch's problems right before I go to bed? Like they're a problem of my own? Oh fuck, I have an idea. Who? You sitting here thinking about a fucking problem, about a person who literally is not gonna listen to your feedback. And you know this deep down, but you're still gonna go and waste your energy, right? And tell them what to do with their life. How do you know what is best for their life, first of all? Like, as much as I like to sit here and think I fucking know everything, and I'm not gonna say, there are certain situations, obviously, that you're more experienced in, but it's their path, whether they choose to listen to you or not. If they gotta go down that same rabbit hole over and over and over again, like for cycles, for years and decades, and maybe shit, even drops down to their children for the next generation, then that's their path. But you don't have to do that. And how good does that feel? And how good does it feel to be able to give? How good does it feel to be able to give the message of strength, experience, and hope of your own and watch someone actually take that and blast off? Because there's one of the two. It's not always negative. There's a negative and a positive in every circumstance. There's lightness and darkness. Like, this is the game of life, babe. And honestly, I'm living it. I'm just learning, like, my new mantra that I've been doing that I really want you guys to try out, because it's really been helping me this past week, has been chef's kiss, bitch. Okay? I literally have just been saying, I'm the luckiest girl. I'm the luckiest girl alive. Like, I am so lucky. Everything just works out for me exactly how I need it to. When you start flipping your mentality like that, watch what happens. Like, I can't even get into it, but I've had a lot of things happen to me this week that are different from, bitch, I moved to Arizona 2 years ago. This last week has been so much fun. Actually, the last like 3 weeks have been just like, bitch, my life could have been like this whole time. Yes, because your perception of reality is everything. And I'm so glad it took me right now 2 years, literally to the day. It literally took 2 years to the day for me to like wake up and realize, holy shit, I'm in my own way, dog. I'm sitting here thinking of the absolute worst for what? I'm sitting here thinking that I'm not worthy to have a good time. I'm not worthy to enjoy the new state I worked so fucking hard to get to by myself. You know what I mean? Like, and that's because why? Leading back into what I just said. Why do you feel so guilty when you like level up? It's like literally like that. It's just like, when I first moved here, it was to get away from my old life. Like, I wanted to start fresh, duh, right? What I didn't realize, like, as much, obviously, like, going from a breakup and, like, home life and all that shit, moving, that's a whole thing. Of course, you're gonna feel a little down. So I'm gonna give myself a little grace for being down and out, like, the first 6 months to a year. But I didn't realize until now, when I'm really sitting back and thinking about it, I literally had survivor's guilt, because it's like, I thought, and especially in my mind when I had that punishing God in my head, I'm like, bro, like, why would I sit here and enjoy my life when they're over there suffering? Or like, not suffering, but like in my head, my version of whatever's going on, you know what I mean? So then you sit there and you're like, fuck, like, do I even deserve it? Like, if I go and enjoy life, like, what's gonna happen? that's not for you to even worry about. Like, I'm literally just coming to the realization that is none of my business. What goes on outside of Lacey's world is not Lacey's business, so it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to sound like a cold-hearted bitch, but I'm also trying to sound like I'm a bitch that literally puts herself first and is not going to be a doormat to anyone anymore. Like, I've always had my voice, but my voice has always been filled with anger and rage and emotion. But this time, coming around, I'm learning how to use my voice without the emotion attached. Like, I am using my voice in a way where it's not trying to prove a point. I'm just saying what I gotta say. You can take it or leave it. I don't remember if I told you guys the mantra I've been saying. I think I did with the lucky one, but what I really wanted to say besides, I wanted to tell y'all about the lucky thing. The mantra I've been saying that really helps whenever, like, for example, me in traffic, bitch, I got road rage like a motherfucker. Used to, bitch, I'm working on it. Every time I get a sudden rage, right? Oh, I'm about to like start crashing out. I literally go like this. I'm surrendering to the flow. Because there's obviously a reason that I'm being held up in traffic, or there's obviously a reason someone just cut me off, or there's obviously a reason that this person's driving under the speed limit. Right? Now let me fact check this, because I was driving the other day and it was stoplight after stoplight after stoplight, and I was like, bro, I was starting to get a little irritated. I was like, bro, like, why do I keep getting every stoplight? Like, to the point where I was getting a stoplight for traffic to come this way. There was no cars even at the fucking, for the wait to even trigger the light to, you know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? I literally, and then I'm like, you know what? There's obviously a reason that God wants me to not like be rushing to where I gotta go. Okay, so we're leaving from the light onto the next light. That's not that far away. I could see the light. It's green. So we got the right, we're gonna keep going. But we were just stopped at this light, right? So as we're going, coming up on this green light, obviously traffic this way is at a red light. Someone runs the red light going hella fast. If our previous light would have been green and we were keep going onto oncoming traffic, bitch, T-bone. I'm talking seconds, bro. Like, if we were not held up at that light, we would, hello? Like, you know what I mean? God is working when you can't see. God is working behind the scenes even when you can't see it. You have to trust. That's where faith comes into it. And I don't want you to think that, I mean, it's like, oh my God, a Christianity God, a Catholic God. No, baby, I'm talking about whatever higher power you have in your head. You could be praising a doorknob, like I told you guys, okay? Doesn't matter what you're doing. I need you to hold on to something and give it to God. Like, I literally need you to let go and let God, because that was in my way for so long, bro. I had this relationship with I had a relationship with my punishing God, and I literally thought, oh my God, he wants the worst for me. Oh my God. Again, this is where perception is reality ties into what I'm saying. When you change your perspective, perception, whatever the fuck you want to call it, bitch, it's like things actually start working out for you. It's almost as if you're the luckiest person in the world. I'm gonna go to say this, bitch. I'm returning the caterpillar. Bring out the fucking wings. I'm ready to fly in this bitch. You know what I mean? Bitch, we're soaring. Bitch, it's the year of the horse. It's the year of the fire horse. Bitch, we are on the run, bitch. Spring equinox is upon us, so I need y'all to get ready. Okay? Do some spring cleaning, bitch. I've been on that shit. Like, make a vision board. Like, baby, I'm gonna make a vision board right now, and I'm gonna show y'all when we get back on the next episode. But I really wanted to get on here. Didn't matter what the fuck the lighting was doing. Didn't matter what the fuck. I didn't have time to beat my face. I just wanted to carry the message, and I hope I did that for you guys today. So again, I'm Lacey, your host. This is Voice for the Voiceless. I love y'all so much. Tune into the next episode. Make sure to follow me on all platforms. It will be in the link in the bio. And keep being you, bitch, because you're unique, special, and a light to this world.